I'm Amanda Levitt, and my practice is called Future Systems. I think what's probably most characteristic about our work at Future Systems is an aesthetic and a language that we've developed over many years and is still evolving. That's very much rooted in a kind of a concern and a delight in things that are organic and inspired by nature. At the same time, we draw a lot of inspiration from technology. It's a kind of merging of those two almost diametrically opposed lines that makes what we do special. There's something else which, for me particularly, it is very important, which is about the idea and the concept. It's not possible to define what that idea is, but it's this notion that whatever we're doing, at whatever scale, it's about pushing boundaries. It's about going a little bit, it can be in a very modest way, or sometimes a little bit less modest. It's about going beyond where we know and where others know. I think buildings of all the arts, all the disciplines, is the most overwhelming. It is the most powerful. It's partly because of its scale, but it contains social meaning, cultural meaning. It defines us historically. It defines our cultural context. It can shift a mood. It shapes the way we live our lives, and it's overwhelming in the sense that you can't avoid it. Everybody lives in a building, everybody works in a building, everybody socialises in a building. You pass by buildings. It's what makes our cities. London has acted as a magnet for people from many different cultures, many different countries, who have chosen to make London their home and their creative home. And it's that sense that kind of anything goes within a fairly sort of fluid social system that I think is very specific, and for me it's what makes London so exciting and is my favourite city in the world. I think that architecture has the power to provoke an emotional response and to provoke an intellectual response. It is only when you have a building that is led by an idea, by a creative vision, I believe that you can evoke that kind of feeling that touches at a level that enables you to respond. Most of the buildings in our city, unfortunately, are not great buildings. They're very ordinary buildings, and so you pass them by, you don't get that sense. You don't bother looking up. You don't bother looking back. They don't change the way you think about yourself. They don't change what you might expect. I mean, buildings are great attractors for people. People love buildings, people love great buildings, people love different buildings. They like to be excited, they like this sort of sense of awe and amazement and difference. And you can only have that if you really push the kind of the functional, the aesthetic, the technical limits of what is expected. You can't do that if you stick to a much more formulaic and commercial approach.